you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As I've discussed numerous times on this channel, we're all obviously deep down the rabbit hole with Pizzagate. And I talked earlier about spirit cooking, that disgusting, disturbing, cannibalistic ritual involving that coagulated blood that Marina Abramovich was involved in. I want to talk about how these quote-unquote celebrities are all have this connection to Marina Abramovich, somebody who they call, oh, she's just such an artist, because they use the word artist and art, and I've said this my entire life, even before being aware of a lot of this stuff, that art is just an absolutely ridiculous term because they use it for everything. You can get away with almost anything and say it's art. I can say, come over to my house and let me open the fridge and throw all the food in my refrigerator at your face and say it's an artistic display. I'm having an art show at my house. Let me just, take toilet paper, cover somebody in it and say it's art. It's ridiculous what they get away with, but they use the word art and they have these shows, these art conventions, these art galas, and they get away with having these satanic rituals in plain sight because they deem them art and people fall for it. But Abramovich, of course, has a connection to James Alefantis. James Alefantis posting a picture of her randomly on his Instagram account. Now, there's no photos that I've found so far of them together somewhere, but I guarantee you that they've met, that they're connected, because all of these celebrities and all of these people are connected. I've said it for a long time. But anyone who's been listening to my channel since the beginning, I've been saying it the entire time. All of them are in on it together. I know a lot of people didn't want to believe it, still don't. Oh, they all know each other. Oh, they're all a part of this. This is a secret society. This is a secret networking system. All of these people have the same beliefs. They've all gone through the same rituals. They all have ties to each other. That's one of the reasons that all these celebrities pretty much date inside the celebrity circle, because they're all part of the same thing. They're all part of these secret societies. They're all satanic at the core. They worship Satan. But I want to talk about Marina Abramovich and listen to some of the people that you could find through these photos that she's connected with, who are Hollywood quote-unquote big shots or celebrities. Of course, we've seen, like I said, we see James Alefantis post a picture of her on his Instagram account, even though he's not a celebrity, but that links her, in a sense, to Pizzagate. You want to say guilty by association, that's fine by me. All you got to do is look at the spirit cooking ritual, look at the connections between Pizzagate and everything that's going on there to realize that this is all about Satanism and the occult. But we see Abramovich, obviously most of you have seen the photos of her connected to Jay-Z and Lady Gaga. But there's more people that she's connected to, including Will Ferrell, Pamela Anderson, Courtney Love, Kim Kardashian, Gwen Stefani, other celebrities you'll see here at this art gallery known as the Mocha Gala, where Marina had a show there where everybody was dressed up as scientists for this show. They wore these these white jackets to look like scientists, and they sit around a table. I mean, look at this photo. They sit around a table where there's, a dead body. It's supposed to be a dead body, representing a dead body, right? Laying there inside of the ritual circle. Of course, you see the white ritual circle. Laying inside of it, because usually when they do these sacrifices, it is inside of a ritual circle. Laying inside of it with a skeleton on top of the dead corpse, what is supposed to be a dead corpse. And all of these celebrities, these Hollywood bigwigs, these politicians surround the table, looking at it like it's art. Some of the tables have heads poking out. And this is all about their cannibalistic lifestyle, because these people are cannibalists. They eat flesh. They sacrifice these children. They eat them. They believe they gain power by doing this. They believe by sacrificing and doing the ultimate sacrifice of sacrificing these children to Satan, that they'll obtain and keep power here on earth. And that's what this is all about to these people. So you see this disgusting, disturbing event, but it's called the Mocha Gala. So people go, ooh, the Mocha Gala. Oh, it's so artistic. Oh, who cares? It's an absolute joke. And you'll see some other celebrities. I don't know some of their names, but you'll recognize the faces. Just person after person who attended these events or attends these events. And like I said, we've seen some of these other rituals. But I want to point out something else pertaining to Marina Abramovich, because she's been getting away with performing satanic rituals out in the open. Like I said, because they deem it art. So we've seen blood, the spirit cooking with the blood, throwing it on the walls and the coagulated blood and all this stuff. People still are saying it's art, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's all about demonic possession and cannibalism. These people are possessed. There's no question about it. There's no question about the fact that they're Satanists. And we see the Mocha Gala event. But here's another ritual in plain sight, and there's many that Marina's performed and gotten away with, involving James Franco. So if you're not familiar with James Franco even has some ties to Pizzagate, discussing pizza parties and things like that weirdly on his Instagram account. He's a very just weird, creepy guy. If you ever follow him or hear him talk, you could just tell there's something wrong with the guy. But obviously he has a connection to Satanism, so you know what's wrong with the guy. And here he is, not only hanging out with Marina, but involved in a ritual with Marina. Now, for those of you that aren't aware of what gold symbolizes, okay, to the Satanists, to the mystery religions, it goes back to Babylon. It even goes back to the golden calf and this worship of gold. What she's doing here is she's doing a ritual with him where he's coming over to her house and he says, oh, let's do some art together. It's a complete ritual where she's covering him in gold leaf. Okay, gold leaf, which is like paper thin gold. She's covering his body with it. This is what they used to do in ancient Egypt. They cover the furniture and the tombs of the pharaohs and the statues of the gods. In other words, this is almost a ritual where they're anointing him as a god because he's probably passed through his oaths and Freemasonry. And this is right before he became big in Hollywood, or right around the same time. I don't know if he's still big now. I don't really follow it, but I know that he blew up for a time period, even hosted the Oscars or one of those big events. And this is him getting covered in gold leaf. So take a look for yourself and listen and see how ridiculous this is.
Now, when you turn into sculpture, it's just about pure presence, the human being and gold leaf. The gold is like a life material because it's so fragile and it's trembling and it's breathing like a wind. Once Picasso been asked what his paintings means, he said, did you ever know what the birds are singing? And you don't, but you listen to them anyway. So sometimes for the art, it's important just to look. Okay, you just see how it looks like if you really touch it. You just put the hands on your stomach. You just...
So apparently this is art, and this is normal, folks. This is normal in the mind. I mean, this is what drives me insane, is that the Satanists know what they're doing. The occultists know what they're doing. If somebody was to come to my house and I was going to just say, hey, you know what? I want to do some art. You want to do some art? I think they would go, well, okay. I mean, I'm not really a good painter or drawer, but what do you have in mind? I said, no. Stand against the wall. I'm going to dump a bucket of paint on you. Then I'm going to cover you in some feathers from a pillow. Then I'm going to hit you in the face with a box of Rice Krispie treats, dump that on top of you, push you into the corner, hose you down, and call it an art show. I mean, give me a break. That's pretty much what this whole thing is, but they've created this illusion so people out there are just, oh, it's art. Oh, give me a break. Because they don't look into these rituals. They don't understand what it means. I mean, look at the ritual you just saw where she's covering him in gold leaflets. Okay, what do you think this is? This is about ancient Egypt. This is about empowerment. As he's being empowered, and, gold to Egyptian gods, Egyptian gold was believed to have magical potency and believed to contain all this significant properties, and gold didn't tarnish and deteriorate. And you know how the elitists and the Illuminati and all the Rothschilds and all of them are obsessed with gold. Okay, they're obsessed with gold. And this goes back to the golden calf. This goes back to Nimrod. That's what this is all about, in ancient Egypt. So here's a ritual where she's covering this guy. I mean, everything you look at, she's covering this guy with gold. Every single thing we see is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous because she gets away with this stuff and it's just bizarre, right? People go, well, it's just weird. these art people do weird things, right? So we have people laying on tables, supposedly playing dead bodies covered with skeletons on top, representing a dead corpse. We have people sitting around there eating a meal with this in front of them inside of a ritual circle. It's unbelievable. These, the pretending to eat in this cannibalistic mindset, and people just think it's normal and it's okay. They don't understand what's going on because their minds are so feeble. They've been brainwashed so much into thinking that spiritual warfare is not real, that God and the devil is not real, and they just get away with this stuff in plain sight. So it's more than just spirit cooking that Marina is involved in. Obviously, most of you know, but the connection to all of these celebrities, people just think it's a giant coincidence, right? Oh, she's connected to Will Ferrell is at this show, involved with cannibalism. Oh, right, but they're, it's unbelievable. They're all wearing scientist jackets. I mean, Gwen Stefani, Pam Anderson, list goes on and on and on and on, and nobody wants to believe what's going on because they can't wrap their mind around it. This is not art. These are satanic rituals being performed in plain sight. And until people start realizing that and start looking at this stuff and going, art, is a complete cover for these people to get away with this stuff. Until people start realizing that, they're just going to continue to do it and say that it's art. You don't think it's weird that Marina Abramovich has a connection to all of these people? What is she? Who is she? What is she doing? She's doing the most bizarre, they're satanic rituals, right? If you were just making up weird random things around your house, and you're like, I'm an artist, and then all of a sudden you're hanging out with Jay-Z, you're hanging out with Robert De Niro. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You don't get in there unless you're doing this stuff and you're a part of it. These secret societies, these networks, control politics, they control large corporations, large businesses, all of it. Hollywood, music industry, you name it. And it's obviously it's infiltrated its way into sports as we have athletes now who are getting indoctrinated with it, like LeBron James and others who are a part of these secret networks and secret societies as well. It's all about Satanism and it's all about the occult. So this is Marina Abramovich. I just wanted to show people this because I saw this ritual with James Franco, which is just a complete joke where she's covering him almost as if he's an Egyptian statue himself, covering him in gold. It's likely that this ritual is some type of achievement for Franco, some type of crowning achievement for him. And this is Marina Abramovich, again, with the connections to all of these people, all of them, just randomly, right? She's doing weird things like putting gold on people's bodies and having dinners where there's heads sticking out of the table. People are lying around naked, and we have all these celebrities, these musicians there, and people just go, oh, it's just it's just art. Give me a break. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you. May peace be with you.